What is the worst thing that could happen from losing 80 pounds in 1 year? Well, not a whole lot, to be honest. It's all pretty awesome, to tell you the truth. The only thing that is a little bit negative is if it happened to be in 2025, everyone thinks you used Ozempic. It's like a common thing. As soon as they see you, they haven't seen you in a while. It's like, oh my God, she used Ozempic. Oh, she did drugs to lose weight or something like this. And it really, at the end of the day, who cares what they think? Because I've lost 80 pounds. I've got this little teeny tiny waist. Sorry for that. Like size 27, 26. It's amazing. It's incredible. I've never been this size in my life. And I did it through a lot of hard work and consistency. And I know you probably did too. Maybe you lost more than 80. Maybe you lost 30. Maybe you're just starting out. If you are, my name is Linda. This channel is called Baba is Trying. I'm over 50, menopausal, and I lost all this weight in 1 year from making healthy food choices, and essentially that's it, and not eating at night. So healthy food choices paired with when I ate. It wasn't truly intermittent fasting. It was honestly just a really good life habit. I don't need to be eating very late at night, other than it just brought me a bunch of emotional comfort, and that was my major crutch in life. So I want to see what else we have in common. I'm a full-time caregiver, which is what I like to say, but I do also still have to work. So I'm a caregiver for my two granddaughters, who both have high functioning special needs, though they need constant supervision. So this meant right off the bat, it's the reason I got to be up to 220. I have been even heavier in my life. I was 250 with my third pregnancy when I was younger, but it's completely my fault how I got to 220 pounds. I take full responsibility for what I put in my body to get to that size. Some of it was environmental, such as not having a lot of free personal time. So what do I mean by that? Everyone says, just go for a walk. Just walk for half an hour. Walk for an hour if you want to lose weight. Well, if you're a caregiver, if it's either for youngsters or if it is for an elderly parent, you could be my age, 51, 52, and caring for an older parent. If there's dementia involved, especially, you can't go for a walk. Like, this is not possible. Everyone says, it's free. It's just do it. It's so good for you. Not everybody's in that situation. So if I have finally found you, my peer who gets it, that you can't just go and do these things, this is what I'm getting at, why I chose to do it with calorie deficit. At the same time, I feel I am very strong and fit now. I have lots of mobility that it feels like an honest to goodness gift. I wouldn't have been able to do these movements at 220 pounds. It would have been incredibly, incredibly taxing on my body and stressful, and then spun me into a negative Nancy kind of thought. And I would have reached for the Oreos and just said, this is the way I'm supposed to be then. So I did it just with calorie deficit. This lowered my stress. It was one thing to try and do: make healthy eating choices and eat less than I had been eating, and not eating at night, not trying to work in this exercise, fit in this time, to save up to buy some shoes because I've got new shoes for the girls and they need down shoes and they need. So what's left for me? Very little. And that's just the way life goes for some of us, but you make the best of what you have. So the movements I do are often in socks or bare feet, free. That is actually free. I could do them even in the bathroom. Sometimes that was the only privacy I had, was the bathroom. But this is I'm getting ahead of myself. This is the first 60 pounds was no movement at all. So just from calorie deficit. Now fast forward to when I was about 160 pounds, I felt like, you know what? I can do some stuff. I felt I could manage my body better. I didn't feel like I was wearing these weighted vests and heavy book bags filled with, all this extra material. I felt like I can do something now. And I started with a simple wall sit at my desk. When my girls are in school, I do still have to work and I do photography. So then I'm editing a lot at my desk. And so then you say, well, you have this time to go for your walk then when they're in school. Well, I don't. This is when I have to try and earn money. So I'm at my desk, but I do sometimes upload. It takes several minutes. I would do a wall sit for 1 minute. And this is where it all started. And then I built from there all these little small little achievements and building on from there. And this is what I just wanted to share. Like, I'm so glad. I hope I finally am starting to find my peers on YouTube. And I want to share my experiences with you. And I really want to learn from you too, little things that you do as someone who doesn't have a lot of free time to just do what you like. You've got to try to work in these little micro movements and things like this. And I just really wanted to connect and say I'm here. So if you're ever looking for me, this is where I am. Baba is trying, and I'm so glad that I found you. And I would love to learn from you and to share experiences and to keep each other going, because Baba is trying. I've got my own goals, my own hurdles. I know you're trying. I'd like to learn what your hurdles are, how you're overcoming them, and let's try together. See you in the next video.